Hey, welcome back to Project Build. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make hangers to get your ladder out of the way. So we moved into this house 5-6 months ago. I've been doing a ton of work on it, inside, remodeling, outside, cleaning up the yard, building a fence, things like that. But I mean, as you can see, I have not taken the time to make my shop look halfway decent at all. It is a mess. There's crap everywhere. And I mean, it's just not very usable right now. So I recently got this ladder. It was one that my dad had at my grandma's house for a long time. And, we kind of needed it because we got some pretty tall gutters here that are hard to get to. And it's a 14-foot ladder, but I have nowhere to put it in here. So what we're going to be doing today is making some hangers so we can put that ladder there up on that ceiling there, because that's really the only place in here that it can actually go. I found the general idea for this ladder hanger online, but I wanted to show you how I actually made it. So I'll link that in the description below so you guys can take a look at it. But the idea here is two 2x4 pieces going up, attaching to the ceiling. I've added this 2x4 cross piece, which I will screw directly into the studs, and it'll go across here. And I'll make the whole thing stronger. Then you have a 1/2-inch threaded rod, which goes across and is bolted and on both sides, and then a piece of conduit, which covers that rod, which allows the ladder to roll back and forth across these hangers. And there are two of them, so the ladder will span the gap between the two just barely, and it'll be strapped down at one side so it can't move when you don't want it to be up there. So now that I got one made, let's build the other one, and let me show you how I did it. So we're just going to be using some scrap 2x4 laying around. It's pretty twisted and bowed. Doesn't really matter for this purpose. It's kind of a good use for it. So what we're going to do is cut two pieces that are 16 inches in length, and those will be the ones that go up to the ceiling. And then another piece that's 20 inches, and that'll span the gap in the middle. My ladder is about 17-18 inches wide. You can change the width of yours based on the width of your ladder. This is what I'm doing. So let's go ahead and do that. So with the upright pieces cut, both these 16 inches, moving over here to the drill press to drill the 1/2-inch holes for the threaded rod to go through. You certainly don't have to use a drill press. I have one, so might as well use it. It's also a good chance for me to shamelessly plug my Instagram page, where you can see old photos of projects, like this drill press that I restored. It's a pretty cool thing. If you like it, check it out. So I marked these holes about 1 inch up from the bottom of the board and halfway over. And I'm going to take a spring-loaded center punch and mark the centers of these holes. And then we'll put them on the drill press and drill them out. I thought I should say that using a center punch like this really just helps the bit get started and helps it not to walk around as you start, and makes a much cleaner hole. It would help if I plugged it in. Okay, we got power now, so I'm just going to line up the center of the bit with the center punch hole that I just made, and now that I've got that, turn this on. So you see here I got some blowout on the back of this hole. If this was something I cared about, I would have a piece of wood sandwiched against the back to prevent that from happening. I don't care. It's going up in the ceiling. It's functional. Okay, I've got this threaded rod clamped down in my bench vise here. I got it marked slightly over 24 inches that I need for the ladder hanger. I'm going to cut it off using my angle grinder and a cutoff wheel. You don't need to do that if you don't have one. Don't go out and buy one. You can use a hacksaw, you can use a reciprocating saw with a metal cutting blade. It just would take a little bit longer, and sparks from angle grinder are kind of fun, so that's what I'm going to do. If you are using an angle grinder, make sure you wear eye protection. I like to wear two because if that cutoff wheel does break, it's never bad to be too prepared. got everything that we cut laid out here on my workbench so we can put together this ladder hanger. And I'm just going to show you how to do that real quick. So first you want to take the threaded rod and one of the side pieces that you cut, and then you're going to take one of the nuts and put it onto the rod. And now if this is the cut in, it might be a little hard to get it started just because the threads will be a little bit damaged, but you should be able to do it. So get that on, and currently we're doing the inside of the ladder hanger. So if it was like this, kind of laid out like this, we're going to put the nut, and this will make sense in a second, and lock washer and a flat washer, fender washer, and we're going to put that on and stick that through this one side here. Push that on. You see we need to go a little bit further here, so loosen that further down. What we want to do is now is take another, so this time put the flat washer on first, and the lock washer, and then a nut here. Tighten this down, and we're just trying to basically clamp this side board here in place on this threaded rod. So I'll get that tight on there, and then I'm gonna slide this up against there and tighten this here. Now we need to tighten this all together, so I'm going to use an adjustable wrench and tighten this here. You should only need one adjustable wrench because as you tighten, it's going to start clamping against that other nut up here. With this board tightened up against the threaded rod, we want to take our piece of plastic conduit and slide it over, and then put on the nut and put that up against the threaded rod. All right, and then we take a lock washer and fender washer, and then now we're going to put on our other board. And we try really hard. Use a little percussive assistance here. All right. I want to do the same thing on the outside here. You can see we're cutting it pretty close with the amount of thread. All right, I've got that started, which is good. So now I'm gonna tighten this outside one so it tightens up against this nut over here. All right, there we go. So as you can see, just enough thread there. So when you cut your threaded rod, and I'll show you the other side, it's sticking out a little bit, but just barely. So when you do cut yours, make sure better to make it a little bit too long than too short. We got our ladder hangers made. Now we got to actually attach them to the ceiling. So what we're going to do is take the plate that goes in between up here on the top of the hanger like that. We'll mount this to the ceiling here, and then once that's up there, we'll mount the ladder hanger to that. So I started by measuring away from the wall 25 inches, and I'm just doing this because the other end where the other ladder hanger is going to be has to be that far away from the wall because of the garage door opener. So I got to avoid that. From there I took my stud finder, which is just a magnetic one, which I really like, and I'm just marking where the joist runs using the magnet to find the drywall nails in the ceiling. And I really prefer this over the more expensive ones that you can buy, as this one's really cheap and easy to use. From there I took my cross plate that we made, it goes at the top of the hanger, and I screwed it into the stud that I just marked. I started at one end, screwing it in, and then proceeded to move to the other end, making sure that it was secure the whole time. I put 3 screws through that 2x4, and I used 2.5-inch construction screws so that they'd go far enough through to actually hold into the joist above. My 2x4 here is running parallel to the direction of the joist, so I was able to put 3 screws in it. If you are running perpendicular to the direction of the joist, make sure you put at least 2 screws in with the 2x4 spanning both joists. Next, I mounted the 5-inch corner braces up to the 2x4, eyeballing it so that the edge didn't stick past further than the end of the 2x4. And once I put 1 screw in, not all the way, I would check with a speed square just to make sure that it wasn't sticking out too far. So you'll see me here just putting in the rest of the screws and checking each time to make sure the bracket hadn't moved. I used 1.5-inch screws for this part, so they'd go pretty much all the way into the 2x4, but when I do the 2x4 sticking down on the sides, the screws wouldn't stick through the back of the 2x4. I just want to quickly revisit the point I made earlier about the 2x4 spanning the joist if it's running perpendicular to the joist. I actually had planned to do that originally, but I have 24-inch on-center joist in my ceiling, and I wasn't able to do that as the board is only about 21 inches long. So I had to change the direction of the ladder and go parallel to the joist. Sometimes you just gotta be a little bit flexible. Once the other bracket was up, I took the actual ladder hanger and proceeded to mount it to the brackets that we just installed. I did this by putting in 1 screw on each side, and then I checked the squareness of those boards coming down from the ceiling and adjusted them as needed to get them as square as possible. Now they were a bit warped, so it's not perfectly square, but it definitely works well enough. So I'm just continuing to install the brackets here, screwing in both sides and making sure they're square in between each screw. While I've got a second here, I wanted to mention that I'm using an impact driver to do this. And if you're not familiar with an impact driver, they're great tools. They're used for, well, driving screws, as the name would suggest. And it's incredibly useful, and it makes doing something like driving screws above your head way more feasible than a drill would be. Once the rest of the bracket screws were in, I drove a couple of construction screws that we used earlier into the ends of the 2x4 that is attached to the ceiling joists. Okay, so we got the ladder hanger up, and it is definitely strong enough to hold our ladder. Now, I don't recommend that you do this, but I want to show you how strong it actually is. Or maybe I'm just trying to show that I can actually still do a pull-up. So we got that ladder hanger up there. We got to put another one up on the ceiling over there for the other end of the ladder. So my ladder is 14.5 feet long when it's closed. So that means I need to make the ladder hangers less than 14.5 feet apart. But as a note, at the end here, you want to make sure on one of the ends of your ladder hangers, you have enough space so that you can put the ladder up, slide it through, get the other end up above the other ladder hanger, and then slide it back so that it's suspended between the two. So I have about 3.5 feet over there, so I need to make my ladder hangers no more than 11 feet apart so that I can actually get that ladder up, over, and then get the other end up and back and over so I can hang it up there. Okay, I went ahead and put the other ladder hanger up, basically the same way I did this one. Now all we gotta do is put the ladder up there and then have some way to secure it so that it can't ever move, because we don't want it to fall on anything, and we'll be pretty much done. So I lifted one end up with the ladder and put it in the hanger and pushed it through till it was about to touch the ceiling. And then I went over to the other end and put it up and rested it on the ladder. I recommend you use 2 people for this, but if you have 1 person, you can set it on the ladder and then get up and put it through the rest of the way. With both ladder hangers up, the only thing really left to do is to secure the ladder to the ladder hanger so that it doesn't fall. You know, if I'm walking through the shop and I'm carrying something and I hit it, I don't want it to fall and hit me in the head and die, because that'd be bad. So what we're gonna do is basically put an eyelet in here and then hook some chain all the way around across one of the rungs so it can't go anywhere, and then hook it back. So let me show you how to do that. I'm going to put this screw eye in. When you're putting in something like this, you're going to want to drill a pilot hole for it. And to do that, to find the right size, you want to take the drill bit that is about the same diameter as this inner shaft here. So hopefully you can see this. When I hold this drill bit up, you should still be able to see the threads on both sides of it. So this drill bit's actually just the same diameter as that inner shaft there. So I made a mark on it with a Sharpie so I know how far to go. I'm gonna go ahead and drill a hole for it. And then you just screw it in by hand. And once you get it started, it's probably going to be pretty tough to put in. So at that point, you can take something like a big screwdriver, something strong and metal, and stick it through, and just use that as leverage to turn it. Now that the eyelet's in, we got to attach a chain to the eyelet and put it around one of the rungs of the ladder so that we can hold it in place and keep it from moving. So I'm going to use chain to do this. You could definitely use rope if that's what you have. It's just pretty easy for this. So the first thing I got to do is take what's called a quick link. It's a screw link to attach pieces of chain to something or to each other. And I'm going to put this on the eyelet. So when you do this, make sure you get one that's actually big enough to go over the eye you have here. Mine isn't, but I do think I can force it on. So I'm going to try to do that. With the quick link through the eyelet, I now want to attach one end of my chain to it. So I just put it on and then tighten this down here. Yours should tighten by hand pretty easily. I may have screwed mine up a little bit when I forced it over. So I'm going to try to tighten with a wrench, but might not be able to, we'll see. Now I'll take the chain and I'm going to go over around this way. So over around and then down. So I'm coming around the ladder rungs and underneath the ladder hanger, coming back up. I'm coming on back on this side of the ladder rung so that this chain is surrounding it and it's underneath the ladder hanger. Then I'm going to take, it's called a spring link. It's really just a carabiner that has a heavier load rating, and that's 2 blue. So go to this one. And then put that over. I want that to be pretty tight, so now I'll test it. Alright, I can move it a little bit, but I can't move it far enough either way for it to actually fall off the ladder hanger. That's as far as I can go that way. That's as far as I can go that way. So that's good. So you'll see I have this bit of chain hanging here. I'm probably going to cut it off just because it bothers me, but you definitely don't have to. There are a few things that I want to work on in the future for this. So we have really high ceilings in here. I think they're 14 feet, 13 or 14 feet. And it makes it pretty hard to get the ladder up and down. You saw I had to use a ladder to put the ladder up. And that's kind of, the opposite of the point. So if you have tall ceilings, I'm going to figure out some way to basically hoist that ladder up there so that one person can put it up without using a ladder, because that's the point. If you have low ceilings and can reach the ladder hangers, 8-foot ceilings, then this will work fine for you without any help. That's it for now. I hope that you learned something. And if you liked the video, I hope that you'll stick around and see what else I have to do in the future, because there's plenty to do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.